So, shall we start?
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm at Propeller Ads booth and I have with me the star of Propeller Ads, Renz. How are you, Renz, first of all?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure having to meet you at conferences. We have that different connection, so I'm really excited to see you always.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, guys, I always have this really deep connection with Propeller Ads and their team because they're always amazing. And Renz was one of the guys I always looked up to, looking at him speaking at different conferences and all that. Very confident guy. And
Look who's talking. I mean,
no, seriously, your energy always inspires me. The way you talk and the way you move the stage and everyone. You have this magic of getting all the audience engaged and all that. So
enough with that. They might think I'm paying you for it.
yeah, he didn't pay me a single penny for this. All right, okay. So let's start with those who don't know you,
Right.
a little bit of introduction about yourself and what you do.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So my name is Renz Gonzales. I am the head of business development at Propeller Ads, adtechholding. I've been in the company for almost 5 years. I started as an account manager. So for me, it's all about connection. It's all about human interactions and building partnerships and then making money together.
Interesting. So you mentioned you have been with Propeller Ads for 5 years.
Yes.
Was that your first job, or before that you worked in digital industry as well?
Actually, I started in finance. So I was a sales rep for a Forex company. On the sales floor, with all that kind of bang on music and everything else. And but after that, of course, I had a very interesting offer to join a company called adtech, which is in the in-app advertising industry. I believe they're currently associated with Apple India.
Right.
Yes. So I started before Propeller. I had quite an immense experience in the in-app industry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I always read and watch your videos and stuff, and it looks like you wear different hats. So let me ask this: What are your things you're passionate about? What are your passions?
I'm passionate about singing. I think that would be my first passion in life. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a musician. That didn't happen. So you see all my Instagram, I'm trying to push myself to be like an amateur singer-songwriter. But I do, that is my passion. Of course, I travel a lot. And I would say that Propeller Ads is my passion.
Right.
It's a night and day thing for me. And I've built myself from the ground up with the help of Propeller Ads and its group, and I'm very happy. And ever since, it's been a long and enjoyable ride.
Right, interesting. So I'm just reading some more questions as well. Just so you guys know. I got a few pointers. Not everything is scripted, but still you have to keep, what are the ideas which I'm going to mention, what are the things I'm going to mention. So, you're based in Cyprus, right?
Yes.
How do you find life in Cyprus?
I've been living in Cyprus for about 20 years. 20 years. Life in Cyprus is amazing.
Right.
Life in Cyprus is easy. It's safe. My family's there, so for me, it's a totally different setting when I have my siblings and my parents there, right? So it's been fantastic. I love Cyprus. I don't see myself anywhere else living or growing old because it's just it's an amazing island. It offers everything.
Right, interesting. And I've never been to Cyprus before,
so be my guest anytime.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Okay, now let's talk about. I need to cut this. Let's talk about Propeller Ads, an adtech group.
Right.
Is that your parent company?
Well, actually, adtechholding is the company.
Okay.
Under it are all the brands that we have. I mean, you know this for a fact. Propeller Ads has been in the industry for almost 12 years.
Right.
And throughout those 12 years, different projects, different technologies were born out of Propeller. And that is why, obviously, it was just a natural way for us to build the root company or the mother company, right? Adtechholding. Under that, we have different projects. That includes Propeller Ads, includes AdX, Zeta, which is our CPA network. We have ProPushMe, which is our monetization software or technology for webmasters and affiliates. What else do we have? We have Notix, which is our retargeting service that basically accommodates big brands. So yes, lots of projects.
Interesting. It looks like a massive company with tons of projects. Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about Propeller Ads.
Yeah.
Because that's where you work, and that's
right.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit about the advertising formats you guys have, and
Sure.
yeah, please.
Awesome. Yeah, of course. So we started, Propeller has been known in the industry, right? As we started as a pop network, a pop advertising network. And in 2016, 2017, we've introduced push notifications as a means for advertising. So that technology definitely boomed. And obviously, ever since, we've been dominating the industry with both of these ad formats. Of course, throughout the years, we have also introduced in-page push, which is, in a sense, browser dependent. So every user or the audience that we have that are, visiting our websites, they can see those ads coming in very naturally, very seamlessly. And we also have static interstitials. Yeah.
Interesting. So you have been working with Propeller Ads for so long, and you worked as account manager as well, right? So you have a deep understanding of how it works.
Yes.
Now, there's one question which every affiliate wants to know. What are the best converting verticals? I know you must hate this question.
I feel you. I feel you. And every affiliate should be entitled to have access to such insights and such information, because we basically function for affiliates, for marketers, for media buyers, for direct brands, right? So the most converting verticals right now are still dominantly iGaming. We have sweepstakes, that's SOIC submits. We also have extensions, Chrome extensions coming in, search ads. Those are actually big here at the conference. I've spoken with so many people. There is a conference here that's about search arbitrage. So that's also popping up quite a lot. What else do we have? Pin submits are still going very, very strong. And of course, we are working with direct brands, right? So it's not just about affiliates, media agencies. We're working with many, many direct brands in terms of their branding, their visibility, their outreach, and of course, performance as well.
Okay, perfect. So now that we covered all the verticals, let's talk about geos. What are the top geos where affiliates are getting best results?
Certainly. This is very timely. So if we're talking about iGaming, your audience, the audience that we have affiliates, should definitely consider getting offers targeting Brazil. Brazil is huge at the moment. Of course, in terms of other verticals, or I would say traffic volumes, if I would rate those in order, I would say India, Indonesia, Brazil, the US of A, obviously, and tier one other countries. Of course, it's a competitive market, not just with us, but through all other social medias. You know this for a fact. So if you guys could get offers from tier 2 and tier 3 geos as well, have a bit more of a cost-efficient marketing activity, then that would be great for you to start with, if you're a new affiliate anyway.
Perfect. Now, when we talk about tier 3 geos, right, one of the biggest challenges I see people facing is finding offers. Do you have any advice for that?
Sure. So, as we said, Propeller Ads, being 11 years in the industry, we have built brands. One of those brands is called Zeta. It's our CPA network where they have very exclusive offers that you can't find anywhere else. That's a fact. Zeta.com. Find them online, all across social media, and of course, if we could link everything there, and they could find very interesting offers that are essentially targeting worldwide reach.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So now that we spoke about, the geos verticals, if someone wants to start with Propeller Ads today, what would be your best advice? Like which ad format to start with?
Right. It all depends on the vertical of the offers of the affiliate. Let's say it's a marketer. If we're talking about something that's easier flow, install, registration, I would mix it up with pop and push, just because of the fact that you can cross-channel, you can cross-target users, you can collect an audience, you can retarget them with different kind of offers. So I would start with pop and push first, and then I would jump to push notification, to in-page push, to maximize the reach that you have with the offers that you guys have, basically, yeah.
Interesting. So now when we talk about starting with push or pop, you guys have two formats, right?
Right.
CPC bidding and then CPA type. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, and what's the best time to move to CPA, or how one can go about it?
All right, so we're talking about push, right?
Yeah.
Push, okay. So with push, there are different pricing models. Of course, there's a CPA goal, which is performance inspired. So if, for example, you have an offer, an install, right, for the USA, it's, I talked about during my speech about a very interesting client that we have, an application, an Android app. So we generated installs for them. We use push notifications. If you are an affiliate who have capital to invest in a tracker, and you know this for a fact, data is king, so collect your own data. Don't just rely on, just advertising and spending your dollar bills and that's it. You have to collect that data with a third-party tracking platform. I'm not going to name the names, but we could list those on this in the comments. So CPA goal is conversions or performance inspired. That really helps out a lot with optimization. But if you're an affiliate who is just starting, I would certainly go for smart CPC on push notifications. It's a second price auction bidding model, which means that you will never pay for the click that you add as your pricing model. For example, I'm running this app right on push notifications, and I'm going to bid in the USA for 15 cents a click. If the top bidding campaigns are at 13 cents and 10 cents, then your campaign would automatically bid for each zone, depending, because each, obviously for everyone, but for publishers or for the zones or the websites that we're working with, there are different pricings there as well because of the huge reach and obviously the quality as well. But in that sense, you will never pay 15 cents, but you will pay a little bit over what your top competitor is bidding. If they're bidding 14 cents, the system will automatically bid 14 cents, 14.010 cents for you, for example. Somewhere like that.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
And thanks for mentioning that, actually.
Yeah.
I learned this from you, I think in one of the previous conferences. And another thing I would like to say is that true that for all, there are different type of audiences, like some of the users, or if we talk about push, are fresh. Some of them are like 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old. How is it worth it to segment on all of them and then create each campaign for every segment?
Absolutely. This is very detrimental. I thank you for saying this, because it's very important for you to segment every campaign that you have in a very narrow targeted way. If we're talking about the freshness of the users, it's all an ecosystem that actually is very AI based, and everything is just updated and refreshed. For example, if a user on push notification opted in today, the user is considered fresh, right?
Right.
Of course, the pricing, biddings, and everything fluctuate and differentiate, but we do have segmented audiences, or cohorts, as we say. High user activity means these are the fresh users that have not seen ads yet, so they're new to this. Middle or medium user activity means they've seen a couple of ads, they're very interactive, they're very engaged with push notifications. And the low user activity, this is where everybody falls into at some point as a category, but that doesn't necessarily mean that these are the audience that does not convert or does not click on the ads. It just means that you have to be more creative, more fresh ideas when it comes to the approach to those kind of ads, the creatives that you use. Make sure to increase that CTR with, those CTA button that's customizable, those texts and those creatives to be as engaging for those audiences as possible. And of course, those are different pricing biddings as well. So that is why I appreciate the question, because the marketers need to segment each and every campaign based off of user activity and also other targetings as well.
Interesting. Thank you for answering that in very much detail. Now, what about devices? Like, shall we segment between devices as well? Between mobile and desktop? Like, what I've seen is sometimes people launch campaigns targeting everything, with one campaign.
Right.
What's your approach on that?
The approach is always separate, period. Because of the fact that desktop users, they have different pricings than mobile users, right? The outreach always is different. So it's very important that advertisers understand the importance of segmented campaigns, right? So different campaigns for different user activities, but also for different devices. Not just that, because a lot of advertisers have the option of target users based off of OS versions, based off of browsers. So check the data, follow the data. What is most cost efficient for you? Follow that.
Thank you. Okay, now let's talk about CPA goal, right?
Right.
One of the biggest complaint people usually have is that campaign runs for 2-3 days and after that it dies.
Okay.
And that's not just, one network problem. I have seen it happening on all the ad networks, even on native networks. That's a major problem for affiliates. What would be your advice on that?
Absolutely. It all comes down to the capabilities of the marketer. If you're a marketer who knows and has an experience building pre-landers, building different landing pages to test, that is detrimental for the success of a campaign. But bottom line is, if your competition is bidding higher than you are, then you're losing the competition. So make sure that you also negotiate with the offer provider that you're going to work with a higher rate, a higher payout, right? So negotiate that. And on our side, of course, there is tough competition everywhere. So you have to always keep up with what are other advertisers bidding? What are their prices? You can ask our account managers, our support team, which is 24 hours to talk about that. But bottom line, as I said, is it's all about everything. It's the targetings. It's what are the targetings or the settings that you have on a campaign? And those things and those factors are very much crucial for the success of the campaign. It's not just about praying that you're going to get all the conversions. You got to work for it a little bit, see what works for you. And of course, the CPA goal, it's performance inspired, but make sure that you're competitive with your payouts.
And another thing I notice is your creatives, they get burned out, they get saturated. Like, people are seeing same thing again and again and again, and that decreases your, CTR. And if you're not getting that CTR, user experience is bad. Why algorithm will prefer or show your ad, and so slowly campaign performance starts dropping.
True.
And you won't get that many impressions.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
100%. So when it comes to creatives, I'm going to give an example of a current advertiser that I'm working with. Essentially, we are changing our creatives every 3 days.
Yeah.
Right? If you have that resources, you got AI now, you got AI technologies, you got spy tools, you know what works, you know how it is. Use AI technology to your advantage and create different ad copies, different contents that would increase CTR, push badges, all those interest-based targetings. But with the creatives, what I did with my current partner is that we are changing the creatives every 3 days. What we did, we drafted a couple of campaigns that already have those new creatives. We're stopping one campaign, we're launching the other. We're stopping one campaign, we're launching the other. So that's what it is, because at some point you will churn somebody who's seeing the same exact creative every single time. So that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, one question, like let's say if someone's new, how do they find out what angles to use or what kind of creatives to create?
All right. Let's say you hypothetically, well, obviously you're big in this industry. Everybody knows you.
No, I don't know anything. Let's just imagine, I don't know, I'm a noob.
You're a newbie.
Yeah.
All right. So you start with working with ad networks that have online content, articles, and blogs, YouTube videos that actually increases your knowledge of a certain ad network and also the ad formats. It's not just about working with an ad network using Facebook and basically not knowing what to do. Use all the content that they have, use communities as well. Ad networks tend to have their own communities, like on Telegram, with a lot of affiliates that actually share insights with each other. So that's one thing. And of course, the online content. It's very important for us as an ad network, right, as Propeller Ads, to make sure that somebody who's new to this industry would have a very easy transition coming in with all the content that we can provide. So plain and simple, read the articles that we have, listen to my podcast.
I'll drop the link.
There. And also, articles and YouTube videos. A lot of the insights that we provide there are basically things that most of our big advertisers are basically utilizing.
And another thing I'd like to mention is speak to your account manager, affiliate manager, advertising network account manager. They have everything you need. Like let's say from your network, ask your affiliate manager what kind of creatives are working, what kind of angles are working, what's working, what kind of devices are working. They'll give you enough data that you can build on. Don't copy everything similar way, but use that as an idea and build on. Then like let's say if I know what devices I want, what vertical I'm running, what angles I want, I can come to Renz, right? Now you will have a clear idea what I need and you will be able to, I guess, guide me better, right?
Absolutely. One of the main factors of the success of an advertising network is the support that they provide, right? If you have an account manager or a support team that actually know how and what to advise, especially a newbie, and not go all full in, like try everything. It's not about trying everything. Start slow. If you're a newbie, start with something that's simple. Start with something that, customer support or your manager, if you, at some point, of course, once you have a significant presence and activity on a platform like Propeller Ads or other ad networks as well, it's very important, as you said, to get all that information from your account manager, because that is your key access to more insights on what's working and what's trending.
True, I totally agree with you. Now, here's another thing. Aside from, all the advertising and things, one thing I notice in our community is personal development. Not being able to communicate or limiting yourself, being shy and stuff like that.
Right.
And these are the topics you're expert at. So give our audience some advice. What to do, how to communicate with people, how to ask for help. Or what are your thoughts about this?
For me personally, of course, I started in this industry with zero knowledge, right? Starting an in-app, coming from finance. What I can say is that be humble enough to make mistakes, be humble enough to ask questions, regardless of how new you are in this industry or how experienced you are in this industry, and you're one of those people that help affiliates on how to start in this industry, we are very big factors on how this industry stay afloat. It is a very fluctuating industry. You know this. One, it's up. The other, it's down. It's just a fact. It's all about consistency persistency in a sense of you know that you're going to have some struggles and some challenges, but at the end of the day, if you don't ask those questions, man, if you don't ask questions, where would you go? I mean, cut corners by just going out of your comfort zone a little bit. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you should know and be shy about not asking it or whatnot. I mean, obviously, it's also about the other people, the people that are experienced in this industry, that are well open enough, well humble enough, like yourself, as I said, to actually be approachable. That also helps. So all of the super affiliates, super marketers that I know, fortunately, I have the privilege of saying everybody's approachable, including myself. I don't necessarily think that as you grow, you become somebody who is untouchable, because I personally want to leave this world knowing that I've helped and contributed into somebody's growth, not just in terms financially, but also as people and development. So that's what I'm aiming to focus on, to become somebody who's an actual influencer.
Really good. So that's exactly, the kind of feelings I have, because personally for me, right, to start off, it was the industry who helped me. Our industry has amazing people, like super helpful people. Like, as I said, when you used to speak, when I used to look at you, I used to always hesitate approaching you, just because he was massive.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, seriously. I'm not joking, by the way. I was. And then I started slowly talking to you, and I noticed how nice you are. Yeah. So, it's all inside you. Just try to get out of your comfort zone and start approaching people.
Right. And it's really all about approachability. And again, it doesn't matter how new you are, how experienced you are, we learn things every single day. I learn things every single day. Obviously, you too, I hope. It's all a learning process throughout life. Just make sure to surround yourself and associate yourself with people that are willing to help, that are actually open to help wholeheartedly. Right?
Exactly. I guess your network is your net worth.
Yes, exactly. I can't say it. I can't stress on that enough. I can't agree more.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Now, when we talk about other ad formats, like overall, if you compare your ad formats, which one has the most highest volume?
Well,
or which one is your biggest?
Sure. Of course, in our industry and with the ad formats that we're working with, Hop Under is pretty much the key, or I would say the cornerstone, with the highest volumes of traffic across all ad networks. Well, there is tough competition, but we remain at the top, and that's a fact, period. Of course, push notifications are, in my opinion, at this point of time in 2023, they have the highest quality of push database right now. I hope, not just as Propeller, but also other ad networks. I mentioned it before, I say it again. All ad networks that have used specific tactics, right? Specific tactics have disappeared. So what I'm trying to say is, definitely work with an ad network that is more than 8-10 years in the industry. But on our side, of course, it's Hop Under, push notifications, in-page push, and interstitials. That is the order of the volumes, and of course I would say the commonality, or what advertisers prefer.
Perfect. Now let's talk about affiliate world.
Yeah.
How was your experience so far?
It's always the best experience, I have to say. I had my first speaking event in 2019, Affiliate World Barcelona. That was an eye-opener for me on how huge this industry is. And, it basically summons and gathers everybody who is relevant, a lot of advertising networks, a lot of agencies, a lot of CPA networks, providers, payment providers. So it's really very interesting. I would say that Affiliate World has done a good job, a great job so far. And I have to say a personal thank you for all the team. everybody, I'm not going to mention, there's a lot of people behind this. Everybody works hard on making sure that this conference remains at the top of the preference of marketers, affiliates, and everybody. So I would say kudos, really. It's another great conference, and we'll see everybody in Barcelona.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Now, talking about conferences.
All right.
How can one take advantage of a conference? Like, what they should be doing? Like, give me some advice. If I want to make most out of a conference, what I should do?
All right. So, in that sense, it definitely would depend on what you do. Let's say it's a marketer, right? So you would want to associate yourself with different like-minded people that are in this industry. Make sure to make friends. It's very important to share knowledge with each other, not just from the same verticals or the same trends, but also different other types of people that are working with different types of verticals, e-commerce, dating, sweepstakes, utilities, you name it. We all get drive and passion to learn new things. So that's one of the detrimental things here. I would start with finding ad networks, advertising networks that have big volumes of traffic, big reach, right? That's very important. And of course, for a marketer, it's really all about the targetings and the features that an ad network provides, right? If you have a wide gamma of targeting options, it's what advertisers are looking for. They want to target as narrow as possible and as specific and precise as possible on who their audience is. So that's the other thing. And of course, I mean, you need to check CPA networks. You need to check what is trending in the industry. You need to check what people are talking about. I mean, obviously, make sure to attend both days of a conference. If it's like a huge event like Affiliate World, it's a 2-day conference. So walk around. There are so many booths that you should visit and learn from. So gather information from each and every booth, each and every company that's here. And outside of the conference, there are multiple events that gather communities of affiliates, super affiliates like yourself, and that's where you definitely meet in a more casual setting with a beer, as you said, with a couple of drinks, and kind of like really discuss and be part of this amazing opportunity of joining and collaborating with different people and communities that have the same interest and the same passion as you do.
Interesting. Now, let's talk about your podcast. What was the idea behind launching that podcast, and how's that going?
I actually, I've been traveling the world so much the past few months. I've been putting it on hold, but my podcast, basically the idea for that is I want to share my insights on leadership, on how to be an empathetic leader in this industry and in different other industries that, it's one to be promoted to a leader, a head of a department, but it's another to actually have that inspiration and that capability and that knowledge of saying, listen, I'm the leader, but it's not about me. It's about the team and how they can grow and how they can be the best that they can be and how they too can reach, different levels in a company. So that's where my heart is passionate about. Is to talk about leadership, but also I would definitely focus, and you're invited. You're probably one of the first guests that I will invite for sure, and I hope you accept.
Thank you very much.
In terms of the experience of an entrepreneur or a CEO like yourself, managing a team worldwide, right?
Yeah.
On how you keep your company, your team passionate and, in a sense, continue on having the same drive, within that corporation. Everybody wants to grow, right? We all want to grow in any industry that we belong in. But at the end of the day, it's also about the inspiration and the knowledge that we learn from people that are from the top, but people that actually are empathetic enough that are experienced enough and well-versed enough to actually focus on the people first.
Interesting. Okay, now we are approaching the end of the this video.
Wow, so soon.
Yeah, but I have a few questions.
Sure.
What is your opinion about AI and how's that going to change, like, let's say, Propeller Ads?
Sure. AI will change a lot of industries. If we're talking about the advertising industry, I would say that, content writing has never been easier. As I said, use AI technology to your advantage. It's not something to be scared of. It's not going to steal jobs. It's going to boost the productivity of each and every industry. So in our industry, in advertising, definitely it would be about content writing, copywriting, and how to actually reach an audience with more engaging, human, and approachable content. So use AI to your advantage. That's it. Yeah. I mean, each and every trend, we're always quite fearful of it. Remember with crypto when that started as a boom. Everything. It's all about learning it. People are scared of something new, but as long as you're open, your mind is open to learn, to actually learn what that specific trend is about. Then you start thinking, how can I incorporate that with my industry or with myself as a person and with my personal development?
Okay. Now, if someone wants to follow you, how they can follow you? If you have any, let's say, handles, if you can mention them.
Sure, of course. I mean, the audience that we have can reach me on social media, on Instagram. It's renz.gonzales21. I'm very much active on Instagram. I like sharing content. I like sharing insights. I like sharing a more personal touch of myself, in terms of, traveling, in terms of wisdom, in terms of, leadership and what I learned throughout the years. I'm active on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Just follow me. It's Renz Gonzales. Well, we can share that link and
I'll add that in description. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So now, do you have any final advice for our viewers?
Final advice.
Do you have any final advice for our audience?
I said it right at the end of my speech here at the Affiliate World in Dubai, talking about push notifications. I said I lost about 6 to 8 kilos in a month. For me, that's a struggle. But what I continue on doing is learning how to adjust what works for me and my body. And I could just basically connect that with anything that anyone wants to perfect. Anything, any aspect in life. Learn from experts, learn from professionals that know what to do and how to shift and influence that change in anything that basically surrounds your life in. Make sure to perfect, learn from those things, and basically have consistency and be persistent and just follow and trust the process. I'm currently trusting the process. I know it's a hard struggle for me to lose weight. I love food so much. If you're a Filipino, I love chicken adobo, and my mom's recipe and my sister's recipe are the best. I also love cooking, but what I'm trying to say is it's all about consistency, right? It's all about consistency. It's all about patience, because nothing is a one-day success.
Okay, please do send me your process. I need to lose some belly as well.
Might not show because of the angle, but I did lose weight, I swear.
Well, yeah, thank you very much, Renz. It was really nice talking to you.
I appreciate
thank you very much.
I appreciate you. Regardless of all the social media and everything else, I really do look up to you. And
I'm blushing.
I really, I really hope that we both stay as we are, influencing people and influencing everyone with positive changes in their lives.
Yep.
That's the main goal, isn't it?
Exactly. That's helping other people. Basically, you are helping yourself.
Exactly.
It makes you happy.
Yeah.
With that said, thank you very much, everyone, and see you next time. Bye bye.